Rossy knew someone was following her, night after night. When she finally cornered the man in the alley, she believed she was facing the source of her fear. She wasn't being hunted by a stranger. She was being investigated by family.
When trust gone, people don't talk. They spy. And while everybody watching the wife, the money getting butchered in silence. Meet worried Rossy, stressed, sleep-deprived, and slowly unraveling. Hands-on Nelson, out of smart degrees, dumb decisions. To break it all down proper, let's bring in the voice of reason, narrator Nancy.
Thank you, Michello. This story shows how fear, secrecy, and emotional distance can open the door to a devastating scam. Rossy grew up poor in the Philippines. Before marriage, she worked as a waitress. Security was something she had to fight for. Learning English was part of that fight, so she attended night classes and studied every day after work at home, determined to improve her future.
You go, girl!
Nelson came from wealth, and his parents, Francine and Sawyer, never trusted Rossy. When Rossy began leaving on the evenings for her English classes, Francine assumed the worst. Francine hired a private investigator. His name was Private Dex.
If she don't understand the schedule, she schedule a detective.
Private Dex was well known in certain circles. He had built a reputation handling discreet, high-profile cases for wealthy clients who valued results over explanations. Rossy noticed she was being followed. At first, she doubted herself. Then the fear settled in. She became anxious, suspicious, emotionally exhausted. The marriage began to strain under the weight of her fear.
When paranoia move in, peace move out without saying goodbye.
Dex believed in preparation over confrontation. He studied behavior the way a professional studies livestock, patiently, systematically, waiting for the right moment to act. One night, she turned around, and that's when it happened. That's when Rossy understood. This wasn't random. This was deliberate.
She thought she was losing her mind. Turns out somebody was paying rent in it.
Private Dex closed his investigation. There was no affair. Rossy wasn't chasing infidelity. She was chasing safety, progress, knowledge. But Rossy's mental health didn't recover overnight. And while Rossy spiraled, Nelson withdrew. He felt helpless, confused, and unsure how to support her. He turned to Reddit. That's where he met Rob Returns.
Anybody named Rob returns trouble.
Rob Returns promised gains, excitement, and adventures. Everything Rossy lacked at the time. Nelson invested quietly, at first with personal savings.
Man saw red flags and thought they was decorations.
As Rossy's anxiety worsened, Nelson's secrecy deepened. He moved from joint accounts to the sales proceeds of her flat in Philippines. He transferred it all.
One marriage, 2 secrets, 0 communication.
When Nelson tried to withdraw, the fees began. He borrowed 6 figures from Francine and Sawyer to cover the supposed withdrawal fees. Nelson tried to explain what he had gotten himself into, and although they didn't fully understand it, they recognized his distress and agreed to support him. On Valentine's Day weekend, Nelson confessed. Rossy recognized the pattern almost instantly. Back in the Philippines, this type of scheme was tragically common. In places where financial protections are weak and institutions fail to intervene in time, thousands of people are drawn into what's known as a pig slaughtering scam. A pig slaughtering scam builds trust slowly. Victims are encouraged to invest more as returns appear to grow. When a withdrawal is attempted, new obstacles appear: fees, delays, compliance checks, and shifting requirements. The victim is slaughtered financially.
They don't steal your money first, they steal your confidence.
As she investigated the scam, her psychosis began to ease. Rossy reached out to Private Dex again. With his help, the scam was documented and reported to the authorities. Francine and Sawyer saw the evidence. They understood the damage their suspicion had caused. Rossy had been right all along. With clarity restored, Rossy's health recovered. She wasn't broken, she had been under siege.
So Rossy wasn't crazy. She was surrounded. Naive Nelson wasn't evil, just unsupervised. Moral of the story? Talk to your spouse. And brother, be careful with those Reddit pals.
Before closing this story, it's important to step back and look at the practical safeguards that could have prevented this situation. These are not opinions. They are standard recommendations from financial and consumer protection authorities. Never make significant financial investments without independent verification. Any investment that requires crypto-only transfers should be treated as high risk. Verify firms through official registries and financial regulators.
Save a mind, save a marriage, save your money.
Help us grow. If you want more real internet stories and Michello's wisdom, hit like and subscribe.